I.S.U.P.K.
Read.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, chapter 8. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causes great anger.
It says a drunken woman gathered abroad causes anger. This is talking about black, Hispanic, Native Indian women. Feet never being at home, always constantly traveling, getting drunk, going to the club, not being at home, not doing their job at home, not tending to the man, not tending to the children, not tending to how the house looks, but yet somewhere they ain't supposed to be, which are these nail salons, which are these hair appointments, which are these other nations' business. And by being in them going to cause great anger, because why? These nations don't want you in their salons, their hair, getting your hair done, getting your feet done, but what? It's going to cause great anger, which means they're going to cause to beat you, they're going to cause violence upon you, and they're going to try to kill you, and God telling you to stay out of it. Read.
The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
It says the whoredom of women may be known by her haughty looks and eyelids. All that spackle and paint that you putting on your face, which you don't need, because black is already beautiful. God is already telling you that you're beautiful, but yet our women up there putting all this stuff on their face looking like a white woman, and what happens? Our people, our black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women get disrespected by the white man who wants them because you're so beautiful. We are supposed to be with somebody of our own people according to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. But because we want to follow and be like these other nations, taking examples from a prostitute like Marilyn Monroe, like Marilyn Monroe, like like Judy Garland. They was whores in Hollywood. But yeah, our women up there patronizing, trying to be like them, getting their looks changed, getting all this blonde and color in their hair, and yet being still treated as nothing by these other nations. Read.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straight.
It says, if thy daughter be shameless, which means if she had no shame, she out here in the street, wasn't even taught right, having the mother showing her no stern correction, and she out here all about having 6 or 7 boyfriends or men. God saying that is disrespectful. God saying that is disrespectful, and she is a shameless daughter. Read.
Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
Though she abused herself through much liberty, which means she has too much freedom, thinks she can do what she want, and then you got the mother out there teaching her that she can do what she want because her mother not showing her these law, statute, commandments of the Bible, which her husband, has already shown her what to do and how to be a real woman according to God, because she is not showing them. Both the mother and the daughter out here being shameless with their breast out, with all this hair color in their head, wearing these tight clothing, having other men argue them, and then when they in the street at night having no protection, which the man is supposed to be, what happened? They get raped and beaten, and then you looking for a man to protect you. No, you ain't supposed to be looking at a man to protect you then. You're supposed to be having your man protecting you, being the head over you, having the wisdom to tell you what to do and what not to do, and you wouldn't end up in these situations. God had the man here for a certain reason. And thank you, brother. And that reason is to have a man watch over you and protect you and to be your wisdom and your head. Come. Any more on that? No, that's it. So give me 1 Timothy 5 and 6. We're gonna get more for you on that. Give me 1 Timothy 5 and 6. We getting it for you right now, because it's a shame for our women to be all up and down in the United States where we was enslaved at, to have these other nations right now over us taking our money, and yet they being disrespectful, nearly killing you most of the day. You find the women and you find our black, Hispanic, Native Indian women in dumpsters. You finding our people winding up without no organs in their body, being sold on the black market. Our people are being any kind of way, but because the Christian church done told you that you're supposed to love everybody, you're not even stopping yourself from going into these stores and patronizing these businesses. Give me 1 Timothy 5 and 6.
1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 6. But she that liveth and the pleasure is dead while she liveth.
It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while living. Meaning, it says, but she that liveth in pleasure. How do our women live in pleasure? Trying to be like these other nations, trying to do what these other nations is, going to these hair salons that don't belong to none of our people, or in no black, Hispanic, or Native Indian person name. Up there getting pedicures, getting spa treatments, putting on all kind of makeup, doing all kind of things, imitating these other nations, and it says she that liveth in pleasure is what?
Is dead. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. So our people going into these stores, our women are living in pleasure. Because why? They not doing anything the man say. They tending to themselves. I can do what I want. I'm an independent woman. I can do this and do that. God said that you can. But because the Christian church had taught you otherwise, you being a whore to the whole world. God said there shall be no whore of a daughter of Zion. And that's in Tobit 4 and 12. So our women out here that's doing what they want, God is calling your ticket in. God said by going in these stores, living in pleasure, getting these treatments, and being disrespectful while giving your money, God said that he is going to call your ticket and you are going to get beat and killed while doing what you want. God said there's supposed to be a head over you that's supposed to be watching you and protecting you. But because you're doing what you want, guess what? God is having you getting beat up and killed in these stores, being thrown in dumpsters.
Right.
Read. Is that it on that?
And these things give in charge that they may be blameless.
It says, and they that give in charge that they may be blameless. So these other nations that beating us in our stores while patronizing and using your black dollars to build up their lineage and their children, send their kids to private school, you get more poor by taking the money out of your pocket and giving it to them for their services. But guess what? They being held blameless by the society that set them up to have these stores. Because how long have we been serving slavery in this country and not have a store or anything in our name yet? We've been here for 400 years, and yet we own not a thing. Look up and down Lexington Market and name a store right here that our people, being black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, or anybody on that sign, own. We own not a goddamn thing here, but yet you keep coming here every Saturday or every day through the week up there patronizing in these Arabs, these African, and these Chinese places and stores. We had became our people because we became shameless, and our women are not being shameless. We had became the whores of the world. But in Deuteronomy 7:6, the Most High said that you are special people above all people on the face of the earth. So what should we do? We should be coming back to these law, statute, commandments in the Bible, telling you who you are. Give me Jeremiah 4:30. Jeremiah 4:30. We should be taking note of this. You watch the news all day. That come on between your soap operas and come on between anything that you're doing in the house, and yet you ain't taking note of the news when it tells you that a black woman got killed here, a black woman got killed there. A lot of black women have gotten killed in Baltimore City. Because why? Because we are loving these other nations. God said to separate thyself. Christ said, have ye be separate, which means holy. How are we going to keep holy? By going to these law, statute, commandments and separating from these other nations. God said to separate from these other nations, to not be a part of America. Because why? We're the ones that being killed in these streets in Baltimore, in New York, or wherever our people are scattered at. Because these other nations hold themselves not blameless, according to Zechariah 11:5. They kill us all day, and yet you go to court to go ahead and get some kind of justice, and these police officers, these court judges are being held blameless. Give me Jeremiah 4:30.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled,
it says, when thou art what?
And when thou art spoiled,
it says, when thou art spoiled. How is our women and our people spoiled? Our people are made rotten and spoiled by going to these other nations, getting the services when there's some sister out here that can do 80 times as better. We are spoiled by the Christian church up there telling you that you are Christian or you are Baptist, when God told you in the Bible on this sign right here that you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Bible. The church will... the Christian church go about using us. These heathens do that. The church allows the Christian church to go and tell us what we ain't. But the Bible says what? You are a child and you are a Israelite according to the Bible. So if the church is telling you that you ain't nothing, the Bible is telling you that's something. It says we rather obey God rather than man. So who you going to listen to? You going to listen to your wicked pastor that up there sleeping with the next woman that ain't even his wife? Or whether he's robbing the church, or whether he's telling you to go with another nation? The Bible is telling you not to do these things. And we rather obey God rather than man. So what we going to do in order for God not to kill us or set judgment of us on us? We're going to listen to these law, statute, commandments in the Bible. Read on.
And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do?
And the Bible asks you a question. And when thou art spoiled is what you're going to do. When you have been made rotten, when you are pushed down to where you can't take it no more. When you are being mistreated in all these businesses that these heathen own, and yet you don't have nothing. How much more of this are you going to take? Being beaten in these heathen stores within an inch of your life. How much of this abuse, this degradation, and this abuse are you going to take before you say no more and start gathering together black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, black woman, Hispanic woman, and Native Indian woman, and get something that we own, that we can call our own, and separate from these other nations and have money in our pocket for our own people, for our own community. Read.
Though thou closest thyself, though thou closest thyself with crimson, through thou deckest thee with the ordinance of gold.
Get that.
It says, though thou clothe thyself with crimson and decorate thyself with gold. Talking about us going into these other nation stores and buying all this jewelry, these high-priced clothes, like I told you before, Marc Jacobs, Versace, Calvin Klein. When he said that you look like monkeys in his clothing and don't want you nowhere in there, It said that you are being spoiled and made rotten because they hate you as a nation. They hate God's people. Right here on this sign is patronizing their stores, and we are being called everything under the sun but a child of God.
You gonna eat?
Read.
No, I'm good, sir.
Man, go ahead and eat, man.
I'm good,
Go
sir.
ahead, man.
I'm
Rentest
good.
thy face when painting.
Thou rentest thyself with painting. Up there wearing Estee Lauder. Up there wearing Mac.
I'm
Up
good,
there
sir.
wearing all these makeup designers things on our face. Read.
In vain shalt thou make thyself fair.
It says in vain, which is vanity, which is nothing. God is telling you that you going to these other nations, putting these other nations' products on you. God's saying it's in vain, which means it is nothing that you are doing that can make yourself beautiful when God already told you you was beautiful. But because you up there giving them money, getting these products that you really don't need, God said all of that is in vain.
Right.
Read.
Thy lovers will despise thee.
It says thy what?
Lovers will despise thee.
It says thy lovers will despise thee. The lovers that is taught by these other nations that you keep buying from. It says thy lovers will despise thee. What it means to despise, which means hate. So that's why them sisters was in the nail salon getting beat down by the Koreans. That's why you got the Korean man here in Lexington Market disrespect you. That's why you got the Arabs calling you everything and a dog. That's why you got the so-called white man still treating you like a slave after 450 years. And there's nothing new under the sun today. God's saying to separate from them. That's why you're supposed to come back to the Bible and do as God said.
Right.
Read.
They will seek thy life.
They will seek thy what?
Life.
God said they will seek thy life. That's why you almost getting killed and beaten within an inch of your life in these stores, because these other nations hate you. Stop patronizing at these other nations' stores, having their products on your face, wearing their clothing. They already done told you that they hate you, and the Bible said what?
Thy lovers will despise thee. They will seek thy life.
It says thy lovers will despise thee and seek thy life. So these other nations hate you and will seek your life because they cannot be you, because you wearing their product and they hate you in them. Mark Jacob hates you wearing his clothes. Versace hates you wearing their clothes. Nike hates you wearing their tennis shoes. Fila hates you for wearing and purchasing their product. And yet, Colin Kaepernick been taking a bow and on his knees, trying to tell you to stop wearing that stuff. And what happened? They still laughing at you, because what? When the first of the month comes and you don't have the money to pay your rent, Nike, Versace, Calvin Klein is laughing at you, because why? You spent all your money purchasing things from their clothing line and their stores. Now, give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. 1 Corinthians 11:3. God telling you where your protection at. Your protection is the I.S.U.P.K. and that righteous man that's supposed to be in your house, guiding his family and guiding you, which is his wife or his daughter or the mother, imparting on them the wisdom that God gave him to give to you. But because we ain't listening, guess what? You're going to wind up wearing their clothes. You're going to wind up being beat in the street. You're going to wind up being disrespected. You're going to wind up being killed, because you are not being a part of the wisdom that's in this Bible. Give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. And I know a whole lot of women out here are going to be mad at this scripture right here. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know.
It says, stop. It says, but I will have you know. So this is Paul talking. This is God and Christ talking through Paul. It said, but I will have you know, which means he will have you take note of this. He will have you aware that this is something that he is about to speak of. Get ready to happen. Read.
That the head of every man is Christ.
That the head of every man is what?
Christ.
Oh, but you're an independent woman. It said the head of the man is what?
Christ.
That the head of every man is Christ. So there is no equality. God put the man over the woman in authority for a reason. To protect you. To make sure that his household, his lineage go on. That the woman is not over the man, but the man is over the woman. And who's over the man? Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is what?
The man.
No, it's anybody who talk about they think they know it. It said the head of the man is what? I mean, the head of the woman is what?
The head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. That means your husband is your boss.
That's right.
According to the Bible.
That's right.
And you got bastard preachers out here like Bishop T.D.Jakes and Creflo Dollar telling you that you can do whatever you want and you independent. God said you ain't gonna never be independent as long as you can have a child. And if you having sex with this man, that is your husband according to God. And that is your boss. And that is your head. And he is the head of the household. That paycheck that you have, you're supposed to be bringing it home, giving it to your husband so he can impart wisdom so that he can have everything paid and you don't go out buying these other nation products, making the household poor, wondering what you're going to do at the end of the month when you have absolutely nothing from buying these nation products. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. So it goes like this. It goes God, Christ, man, and woman. So the head of man and Christ sits in the seats of intelligence and in power. So when that knowledge is brought down, guess who imparts it unto the woman? Because she has no wisdom herself. God brings it down to Christ. Christ brings it down to the man or the righteous men of the I.S.U.P.K. And then the I.S.U.P.K. and the man spread out and teaches his woman, which is a righteous thing. Read any more?
Every man praying or prophesies having his head covered dishonored his head.
It says, so every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoring him. That means when you got your head covered and you're not going back to these law, statute, commandments, you dishonoring Christ. And when you dishonor Christ, you dishonor God. So is there any more on that? We're going to get some more on it. Read.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesies with her head
Go to verse 9.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman.
It says neither was the man created for the woman, because the first one that was created was man. Woman wasn't even here yet. So God created the man first. Why? Because God imparted in him this knowledge of the Bible and his law, statute, commandments unto the man first, which was Adam. Read.
Neither was a man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
But the woman for the what?
For the man.
So the woman was created for what?
The man.
So the woman was created for the man, not the man for the woman. Because why? Your head is always going to be the man, no matter whether you're here today or gone tomorrow. Man is always going to be your head and your wisdom. That's why you don't know. That's why our women don't know what to do now, because they going in any place that they want, because our women don't have no authority to do anything. When you get in trouble and you're about to fight and then the other nation beat you down, what you doing? You calling a cop who is a man to come and protect you when all you had to do was call your husband from home and tell him to come get you. That's showing you how much our women don't have wisdom to do what they want. Give me Ephesians 5:22. This is showing you what we should be doing, coming back to these law, statute, commandments, not going on and leaning on to your own understanding, not following with what the church say, but going back to these law, statute, commandments, which the I.S.U.P.K. definitely follows. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
It says, read it again.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
It says, wives do what?
Submit yourselves.
No, be rowdy and drunken in the streets.
Submit yourselves.
No, patronize these other nation businesses and make yourself poor.
Submit yourself.
It says submit yourself, like the Bible says, and when you submit yourself, you make yourself humble unto your what?
unto your own husbands.
Unto your own husbands, not somebody else's husband being caught in their bed committing adultery, not only with your own husband, but against the law, statute, commandments of the Bible. It says, wives, submit yourself unto what?
Your own husbands.
Your own husband. So that means when you have a husband and you dealt with him in a sexual way, that means he's your husband and not just a man or not just your boo. He is your husband. So that means wives, you're supposed to be submitting yourself into your own husband, and that will stop a lot of drama and violence in the black community, Hispanic community, and Native Indian community as it is doing now. Read.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the who?
As unto the Lord.
Meaning the Most High had said this. God said this. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husband, which means don't go out of your mind up there doing what you think you can do, not being an independent woman, not being hard-headed and rowdy, but you submitting yourself unto your husband. That man who you slept with, which is sexual intercourse, marriage, according to the Bible, and not being with something that is not yours. Read Genesis 3 and 16. We get ready to get a little bit more into this. All these law, statute, commandments in the Bible ain't there just to be there. It's there for our health and our safety, and the Lord wisdom is imparted into this Bible. There's no equality in no relationship. Ain't no equality in a marriage. Who told you but the wicked Christian church and your wicked pastor and preachers talk about its equality? God said for a woman ought not to teach nor usurp authority over a man. Get Genesis what? Get Genesis 3 and 16.
Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
It says unto the woman what?
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
He said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow. Read on.
And thy conception.
And thy conception. That's talking about childbirth right there. Why are you having so much pain? Because just like Eve didn't listen to Adam in the garden, because God imparted unto Adam, the man, the knowledge, wisdom of the Bible, and because our women don't want to be hard-headed, God said he will greatly multiply what?
He will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
He will greatly multiply thy sorrows, read.
And their conception.
And their conception. That's why it hurt like hell when you give birth to a child, because you was hard-headed back in the garden and you hard-headed now. So what God do? God greatly multiplied your pain. Read.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Thou shalt bring forth children. So this is talking about conception, bringing life on the earth. And because you hard-headed, guess what? And you're not teaching your child right, you're going to bring up children that are hard-headed. Read.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy desire shall be unto thy what?
Thy husband.
Is that multiple or plural? Spell husband.
H-U-S-B-A-N-D.
It says H-U-S-B-A-N-D, which means single, which means a woman ain't supposed to be out here sleep with every man, open up her legs for anyone but her husband. Read.
And he shall rule over her.
And he shall what?
And he shall rule over thee.
For anybody in the vicinity of my voice, the man who is the head and the woman with him shall do what?
He shall rule over thee.
He shall rule over thee, which means there is no 50-50, there is no equality, there is no equal being in the household, and the man which God imparted his wisdom shall rule over thee.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before, but you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?